Hello everybody, today in this video we are going to be making a realistic dragon according to science. Now MinuteEarth made a video on how to make one. It was more of a which one is the most realistic, but I learned a few things from that video and I'm trying to put what I learned from that video to making a real dragon. I'll put a card at the top right now, and I will also have a link in the description. For those who are on the TV, sorry, you can't see the art cards as far as I presume, and you can't check the description, so you probably just need to search it up. Anyway, over here I'm breaking one of the rules of what they said, but I was just trying to design a normal everyday dragon. I wasn't trying to go for a realistic dragon at the time, I was just trying to broadcast ideas on what the dragon could look like. So a realistic dragon would actually only have 4 limbs, as every bony creature on land or in the air is 4 limbs. Frogs, 4 limbs. Birds, 4 limbs. Crocodiles, 4 limbs. Potatoes, oh wait, no, they're not animals. Sorry about that, guys. Now over here I make the wings larger, so it's probably more realistic, as now, the dragon that I'm making in the end actually has feathers. So it'd be more of a bear. It would be the size of a bear, kind of like a bird, weigh around 120 kilograms, and they would not breathe fire because that's not very realistic. It would just use its claws and teeth and stuff. So all the realistic parts that to make a dragon, I'm gonna list right now. Number 1, no breathing fire. Technically, dragons are thought of to have breathing fire, but they don't technically need to. As shown in Wings of Fire, they don't. Ice wings don't use fire. Rain wings don't use fire either. Rain wings use acid, and ice wings use frostbite. Though I think the rain wings would probably be more realistic. Maybe not the acid part, though since the bombardier beetle does that, it probably is realistic. Though I think it would probably be more like venom if it was in real life. Though acid is also pretty realistic. Then we now have 4 limbs, which I'm removing the 6th limb right now, and I'm having the wing drop down as support, as if it's being used like you would the front legs if you were like a quadrupedal. Anyway, after you have 4 limbs, I decide to use the next one is having have a keel. It's in your chest. It's a chest muscle, so you can actually fly. If you want any more details, I'm not gonna list them here. I'm just go watch the video MinuteEarth. Anyway, and then you also need to have depending on how much you weigh, you also need to have a combination of flight speed and wing size. If you have bigger wings, you will not need to flap as fast. For example, hummingbirds flap really fast because they have small wings in relation to their weight. Now, I already covered. Now the largest flying creature was a pterosaur with 250 kilograms with a 12-meter wingspan. Now, this dragon would actually be about slightly smaller or slightly larger than a bear and only weigh around 120 kilograms. So we don't need exactly 12-meter wingspans, though I would assume it's fairly big. this creature would probably not go in the water as much, but it might hunt for fish. Though technically, as I made this, I wouldn't exactly think it would hunt fish. Probably more of a scavenger or something. Though who knows? Maybe you guys can figure that out. Now, I'm gonna leave you till anything interesting happens. There, something interesting happened. So over here, I was trying to just redraw it, but I decided that it didn't really work out and looked a little bit weird. So I decided to just copy paste the parts. And at the end, I couldn't really copy paste it, so I just decided to do it freehand. Now over here, I just try and draw, which drawing what I drew wasn't actually a good idea, since I decided to be more of a feathered. Now I decided to be a feather because bats, instead of using feathers, they use like a flexible thing. Now that one is in my opinion, very easy to tear, which you can't do that with feathers very easily, anywhere nearly as easy, and I wouldn't want my dragon to have any problem with that. So I just give it wings. I don't know how realistic that is. Though technically it wouldn't really be a dragon, then it would just be a bird. But since dragons aren't real, I get a pass, because I get to pick what they are, because technically feathers could technically still be possible. I'm doubting myself already. Anyway. Just continue drawing. Just drawing. I draw a lot. You know, this is the first time in the video. I'm going to be asking right now I'm going to set my expectations really high because this took a very long time. I want 2 likes. If we get 2 likes, I'm going to add a background for this fella, and maybe I'll even come up with behaviors, the behavior of this creature, what it eats, everything, every single detail about it. If this gets 2 likes. Don't worry, it'll only take like several hours to draw the background, but it's fine. He says with little confidence. Anyway, over here I shrink the wings to make it feel more 3-dimensional, less 2-dimensional and flat. I'm also going to shrink the wings if I get 2 likes. I think I should stop asking. Anyway, over here I'm adding a... no. Add a keel soon, and I'm adding a tail. The tail is obviously for balancing. Now, I'm going to continue with how this would be realistic. Now, the neck is not fully filled in. It has air sacs, like how very large dinosaurs would have that with long necks, which I completely forgot the name of. I'm so sorry. But it would have air sacs like that. It would also have flimsy bones, kind of like birds, and also other flying creatures, so that I could actually fly. Now, or maybe it just... Wait, I found out how to make this realistic. What if I just don't have wings? Over here I was trying to make it look towards the camera, but I don't really do that. I only really do side views because I can't really do front views or anything like that. Over here I make the chin parts a little bit longer, and I draw some things around the eyes. At this moment, I decided that this would probably be somewhat like a rhino. So I attempt to make it have horns. I end up going against the idea, but maybe I'll keep it. Who knows? I tried and changed the part, and I didn't really... like how the eyes looked. They kind of looked shocked. So I end up just making it how I usually draw dragons. I make the whole fix up the horns as it looked a little bit too tall, should I say? And I move on to the next one. Now the only problem I had with the old sketch was that it actually you couldn't see the legs, and it felt a little bit awkward. Even though you could probably see that there was legs, it still felt awkward. So I end up adding the legs. Final sketch, which I believe this one is. Now I just continue working on it and try and just make it look better. Over here I changed the eyes because I got tired of it, having to do that. I end up drawing the horns a little bit differently, slightly more slanted downwards, and also improve the things. Now I added spikes to the dragon because I typically see those, and to make it have a use, it would probably be used somewhat like how stegosaur spines are used, so that other creatures can't just bite your neck as easily. Now, I don't think they're anywhere as big, but it could also be useful in case someone jumps on you. It could probably scratch them. Now, there are actually two of these, 45 or something like that, degrees apart, a lot like a stegosaur. But it doesn't actually have that many big ones, so I'm pretty sure it'll just be for decoration. Now over here I'm trying to make it more realistic instead of having just a curved line. So I end up copy pasting it and attempt to make better wings. Now I end up going against this, what I'm doing right now, because it changes the thickness. As you see here, now I was planning to just say that since it's closer to the camera, it's obviously going to be thicker, but I still didn't like it. So I end up redrawing the entire wings. Anyway, let's keep thinking about pineapples. I have no idea why I said that. So over here I'm trying to make more realistic wings. Now over here I have to undo it because it was too close and the selection tool would kind of be fiddly or annoying. So I just do that. I accidentally do a mistake, so I have to redo it. And over here I have to angle it so the selection tool has space. Now I continue to just move it some more until I can finally finish everything. I add the muscle parts and also the claw part. I accidentally make it too big and then remove it. I add the extended fingers back and then just try and connect them without it looking too awkward, which I failed horribly, which is again why I chose to use feathers. And I'm adding the feathers now. Now over here I end up just drawing the legs, because again I didn't like how you couldn't see the legs in the previous one. Now so far I think the dragon's looking pretty good. The neck looks a little bit weird because it's like thick near the head and then it gets thinner and then back to going thick, which is a little bit weird. So I do not fix that. Though I will if this gets too legs, because maybe you should press it. Yeah. You should probably press it. Anyway, I go back to adding feathers. Now I have to, I just give up doing this because it's too annoying. And just make it separately spend 3 hours copy pasting. Don't worry, it's extremely boring, so you can probably have every excuse in the world to just skip. Now I started doing it here because it started to get annoying. I added the little feather thing, which also added extra detail. So I just started copy pasting it around. It was mostly just, again, copy pasting. Though it wasn't that boring, I would say, if it wasn't extremely boring. Now I end up removing the fur that the dragon has on its chest and decide to just keep its scales and feathers. I'm pretty sure that's a combination that has been seen in dinosaurs before. Well, it has, but it's not a dinosaur. It's a dragon. Man, I really wish this got 2 likes by now. Though it can't unless it's out. So I'm gonna have to publish it. Oh wait, okay, never mind. I have to publish the video anyway, so don't worry. I'm probably gonna get 2 likes in a few weeks. I don't have hype or hopes. I just continue drawing. Why did I say draw? I meant copy paste. It's a very complex thing, copy pasting. I don't know if you guys can follow along. Now I'm trying to. That was a joke, obviously. Please don't sue me. I have no way you do that. Anyway, I try and position the feathers roughly to where the bones are, but it gets very out of hand because it kind of. I thought it looked a little bit weird, so I just make it look more weird by accident, but I didn't realize it. So the wing ended up looking way too big. Way too big. Yeah, if this gets 2 likes, I'm gonna fix it. Maybe you should press it. Like now. Anyway, I just keep copy pasting because I don't really have anything else to do other than coloring and shading. Now I was actually gonna plan to do the background, but come on. Background. After spending forever working on this. I mean, technically it wasn't as long as the other things I've done. Some of the okay, here over here. I just removed some of them because I wanted to add some smaller ones. And I completely removed the skeleton bones part, but it was a little bit weird. Now over here I'm just clearing those parts, and I end up having to redraw the muscles because I accidentally deleted the one, and I was too lazy to just press the Ctrl-Z undo button. So yeah. Over here, I start adding the feathers to the actual dragon. Yeah. So the problem here was that I had was that the feathers were actually way thicker than the actual feathers on the wings. So I end up just changing the thickness of my brush. Over here, I just remove the fur and add the thing. I don't know what the lines are, but I do them because they're cool. Don't judge me. Stop judging me. Yeah. So I end up just keep drawing. I was mostly just drawing. Now I add these little wrinkle parts to signify that it has rough skin. And one of them was a little bit too high, so I had to drop it. Now, over here I'm just adding the feathers. I didn't do any patterns so it doesn't look repetitive or anything. So I just do that and then end up just spamming them everywhere and then slowly connecting them so it doesn't look awkward. Now over here I have no idea what I was doing. Even at the time I had no idea what I was doing. I have no idea why I did that. But I continue nonetheless, just drawing some feathers. More feathers. Yeah, Yeah, that's right. You're gonna have to watch all of it. You're gonna have to watch a lot of feathers being drawn. That's right, those are feathers. Yes, I keep drawing feathers. I don't know if you could tell. But that's right, I'm drawing feathers. Now over here, it starts to look less like a dinosaur and more like a dinosaur bow wings. Now, the only problem I could find with the wings was that one, it was bigger than the original one. The wings were a little bit too big, and they kind of just looked like a pine cone. I know I said pine cone. So I'm gonna fix that if this gets too light, so you should probably press the legs. Now over here, I didn't want to have feathers all the way, so I try and add some scales. Yeah, it ends up just looking like rocks. But at the beginning, it looked pretty cool until I completely messed it up. Alright, yeah, now it's starting to just look weird and scratchy and stuff. I just leave it there because it took a while, so yeah. Yeah. I added a little bit further, but just give up at it and start adding some lines. Now, as you notice, in this drawing, I'm actually trying something different. I'm not doing my typical sketching. I'm actually doing the clean art. Why am I doing this? Because I've been wanting to do this forever. Anyway, now over here, I'm trying to pick colors. Now, if it was in real life, I don't think it would just be red, but I picked red because, like, reddish orange, because that's like the typical color most dragons have, as far as I know. Like the original ones that are very old. That when you think of dragons, unless you're thinking of like, I don't know, other dragons. Like, I don't know, the Ender Dragon with wings of fire dragon. I don't know how to describe it. Now over here I'm adding some goldy color. Anyway, I imagine this species of dragons, they would probably be any color, but they would also probably have some contrast, like purple and green, or orange and blue, or something like that. Now over here I'm just having like a palish yellow-orange color that you typically see on bones. Now the claws would probably obviously just be made out of book claws. Or why am I saying this? Of course it would be. Why wouldn't it be? Over here I'm just coloring it, and then filled in, and then decided to change the color because it looked weird, but I couldn't because I used the same color as the actual feathers, so I kind of just had to do it. Change the entire thing. It wasn't actually that bad, but over here I just just cleaned up the right side, and then now when I use black, I actually just change the color later. It's just that the default is black, and I just do that before changing color. Now over here, I set the hardness to 0, so that has like a blending, and then I have to do that to each individual feather. I know, sounds boring. Don't worry, it's even more boring than it sounds. Now I changed the color here because I kind of want a different color. It felt a little bit too weird. And over here, I'm trying to add a color, but it looked a little bit weird, so I changed it. Now I'd actually changed the color of everything there, so I had to make a new color because I accidentally used the color of the new thing. So I just changed color. I actually used that for the entire thing because I don't know, it just needed an accent color, which I think was a really good idea. I changed the color here to be more of a reddish color, and I settled on this. I fixed up that claw part, and don't worry, I'm adding the second wing soon. Over here I'm trying to add more feathers, but it doesn't work at all. a very long time working on it. Yeah, fun, right? Over here, I don't know what I was trying at all. So over here, yeah, again, I have no idea what I was thinking. I legitimately have no idea what I was thinking. Anyone has an idea what I was trying to do? Yeah, tell me. Oh, okay, never mind. So over here, I was actually gonna copy paste it, flip it around. It doesn't work. That probably could have worked if I just added a separate layer, but that would be way too many layers. Over here, I'm starting to do the shading for changing the opacity. And then I do some more shading. Over here I add the second wing, but I don't actually, I do a mistake. I don't do it looks flat. I didn't do the 3D thing that I typically do. Yeah, that was a mistake. Over here I accidentally used the wrong color, and it actually overrides the color on the actual dragon. So I remove that and then decide to, and then I actually find the real color that was what I was supposed to use. I end up putting a soft shadow over the entire second wing, so that it looked a little bit more weird. Now the only problem that I have with the wings right now is that the claw hook parts are actually thicker than the feathers, which it just looks a little bit weird. Now I'm just shading that entire area of the second wing. I accidentally used some of the parts of the first wing, but I can change that for you if you get me to 2 likes. Come on, it's just 2 likes. And that's pretty high. Come on. I made a realistic dragon. Or I'm assuming it's realistic. I don't know. Get like a scientist to figure that out and only tell me if they say yes. If they don't say yes, don't tell me. Just say good job. Over here I'm just adding like some sort of highlight outline part, and that's all I'm going to be saying for now. Enjoy everything else.